No matter how much Italian you study, there will always be a few haunting thoughts. Are you pronouncing that correctly? What are you going to say when they reply back to you? How do I not look like a total tourist? This is all too common, and then when we do speak Italian and then they reply back to us, we just freeze. And then we go back to speaking English. So in this video, we're discussing overcoming that fear once and for all. Ciao, I'm Maria. I'm the founder of the Italian Toolkit program, and I help native English speakers become conversational in Italian so they can really have connections and meaningful relationships with family, friends, and locals in Italy. If that sounds like you and you find yourself often being afraid of speaking aloud in public situations, then I highly, highly recommend you check out my free lesson for beginners. It's designed just for English speakers who want that liftoff to becoming conversational in Italian. We start at the very beginning and go over a lot of learning strategies like pronunciation and how to make mistakes. The link is in the description, so if you're a beginner, you're an English speaker, and you want to become conversational in Italian, go click that link and I'll see you at the free lesson. So the first thing I want to say is that you're not alone in acknowledging this fear. It's super common. Learning an entire new language takes a lot of time, effort, and confidence. It requires a mindset change, and we'll go through that right now. So here's your plan to change that mindset and overcome these fears so you can go to Italy and really build connections and feel confident and enjoy the moment when you're there. Number 1, reframe mistakes as progress. It's a sad but true fact that literally nobody on this earth was born speaking Italian. Even Italian natives themselves had to go through the learning process. They just did it younger. And the sad truth is we have to make mistakes in order to learn. It's just the process. As someone who has 2 degrees in education and has been teaching myself and founded a whole program based on learning a language, here's how the learning process works. It starts with you speaking Italian and then making an error along the way. Then you get corrected and reflect on why you made that error. This often gets skipped, by the way, the reflection process. That moment of reflection is where the learning actually happens right then and there. So you're not just making the mistake and then giving up. A lot of people do that. That's where you freeze and go silent. No, the learning actually happens when you think to yourself, well, why did I make that mistake and how can I be better? Then you practice the correction and apply that learning. So from there, you gain confidence in your ability and you keep on speaking Italian. So accept the mistakes and truly view them as wins. Because in order to make progress, you have to make the mistakes. Sorry. And when you get caught up and you're making all these mistakes, just remember that you're doing a lot of learning in that moment. You're growing. You probably won't make a lot of those same mistakes again. Treat it as proof that you're one step closer to becoming conversational. That mistake had to happen for you to get to where you want to go. So it's actually a positive. Number 2, find a no judgment zone. Practice speaking somewhere where you feel totally at ease. For me, I liked to practice speaking to my dog. I know it sounds silly, but I also liked to practice speaking in the mirror because there was nobody around to judge me. And when you practice speaking aloud, you're getting the feeling of the language. You're getting the rhythm down, the responses. How would you actually say that verbally yourself? And then when you do that, you gain the confidence so that when the time does come for you to go to Italy or speak to an Italian relative, you know what you want to say and how to say it in the way that you want. I have a whole video on how to practice at home on your own without physically being in Italy. So check that out. I'll leave the link in the description. You can watch it after this video. And also when it does come to making mistakes, you'll feel much better making those mistakes at home in the mirror or speaking to your dog than in public. Number 3 is to stick to the basics at first. You do not need a huge vocabulary to start learning and speaking Italian. You just don't. As someone who learned Italian to go to Italy and find myself in situations where I had to speak Italian, that's what I want you to do. I want you to find the situations that you'll be in and learn the language surrounding that situation. This is the entire basis of the Italian Toolkit program, and it's also how I teach my students. So if that resonates with you, then check out the link in the description for the free lesson. So again, know the situations that you'll be in and focus on the phrases for those situations. For example, if you love Italian food and you know you're going to want to eat out at a restaurant in Italy, which I think is almost everybody, then you're going to have to learn phrases like how to order, how to ask for a menu, how to ask for more salt, things of that nature. And then when you can say un caffè per favore with confidence, you're already winning big time. My fourth tip is to reframe success. Every one of us has a different definition of what success looks like. Is it being conversational? Is it having the most absolute perfect grammar? Is it just going to Italy and just getting by? All these things can mean success to different people. So for us, success doesn't have to mean totally 100% perfectly fluent. It doesn't. It could mean ordering your first gelato on your own without help from somebody else. Or it could be speaking in Italian, hearing the reply, and then replying back in Italian. Just celebrate the courage it takes to try, even if the outcome isn't exactly what you were hoping for. And above all, we can get so caught up in the grammar and is this correct and what do I say? But at the end of the day, learning a language is about connecting with someone else. It's about having that relationship with someone. So if you can hold a conversation, no matter how big or how small, you're already on the right path. Mindset is so important when it comes to learning a language, and I hope that this video helps you feel better when it comes to making mistakes and also gives you a little motivational boost. Feel free to save this video and refer back to it anytime that you need a little motivation. If you liked this video, please give it a like and know that I do go over way more strategies just like this one inside my free lesson for beginners. I take you through an entire beginner's lesson meant just for English speakers. We start with pronunciation and end with how to make mistakes, and we go through all these strategies in between, so by the end, you'll be more confident than ever. And of course, if you like these videos, click subscribe and click the little notification bell so you don't miss out on your new weekly quick-fire Italian lesson. If you're on a roll and you want to keep on learning right now, you could check out my next video right here. A presto, ciao!